Yo, what's up? Welcome to
Life, Lust, and Lifestyle with Lee and Cece.
Lee and Cece.
We never can get that one together. We never rehearse it.
We don't rehearse it, but you know what? You guys love it. We love it. Everybody love it. It's all good. But you know what? Another day under the glorious skylight of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. You know, and it's fall. I was just watching all the leaves swirl around and fall off the trees.
Look at you. You got leaves falling off of you, huh?
I wanted to be in theme for the
season. Okay. Well, let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? We get an opportunity to talk to a lot of our members and stuff like that, and they come up with a couple ideas for us. So, what's our topic for today?
Difficulties of being a couple.
In the lifestyle, right?
I mean, it's difficulties of being a couple, but I feel like it's a pros and cons thing because there's a lot of benefit to being a couple as well. But there are challenges.
There's definitely challenges.
And so we want to highlight those challenges, I'm supposing, in this podcast.
That would be great because, again, we had a couple of great events over the last couple of weeks. And like I said, we do deal with a lot of couples. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of talking, when we are together because it's not like...
Well, it's difficult to find, we say, like minds, right? That you can actually share your concerns, your wants, needs, and all that kind of stuff when it comes to sex. It's kind of taboo just to talk about it in a general, like, public or social setting, right?
So, unless you with your boys or you with your girls, but...
people you're familiar with, right. But to have others who have gone through or been through those similar types of experiences are very important. Mm-hmm. So we do get a lot of couples that come to us with their concerns,
right?
Or even just to ask us how we work through certain challenges that we come across.
Well, they definitely have benefit from the podcast because we get recognized as that couple that lets it out. You know what I'm saying? We're really transparent. We give examples, real life examples. We don't drop names or anything, but we give you our examples of what we've gone through. So being that, we are a couple and we tend to want to be with couples.
And we don't feel that we're unique.
No.
The experiences we've had. That's why it's easy for us to share because we know there's more of us out there that
have experienced the same thing.
Especially if you're new, because 5 years in doesn't make us veterans, but we've had enough experience to be able to share, what the first 5 years look like, right?
Yeah. And now we're working on the next 5, right? So that we can talk about the next 5 in growth, right?
Definitely.
But let's go back. Difficulties. What would you say would be like the number one difficulty that most couples speak
on? There's really 2 to me that are at the top of the list. And I always want to bring up transparency. I think it's hard for a partner to really be 100% transparent about their wants, needs, and sometimes even interactions, which could really go in the wrong direction.
Okay, so when you say transparency, are you talking about as the couple that's together or the couple that you're seeking?
Well, it starts with the couple that's together, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to be on the same page first. And then you come as a unified front to whoever you are trying to, hook up with, right?
Right.
So if you're not 100% transparent, and the thing about it is you can be in the same space and still not be transparent with your partner. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because it really depends on the dynamic of your relationship, and understand that we all operate out of I wouldn't say everybody, but a lot of women operate out of fear or out of, as a result of triggers, right? Mm-hmm. Or they don't want to spark a trigger in their partner. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we hold back because we want to salvage whatever emotions might come out of that conversation, or even to save face for yourself. Sometimes you don't want them thinking or acting against you.
Right.
So you're not transparent, right?
But on the man's side, the transparency is we get caught up in the excitement of what's going on, and that we tend to forget about our partner.
For a moment.
Guilty is guilty, right?
For a moment.
Yes. So it's not that the men are, like you're saying, don't want to cause any problem. They just so happy and so gone ho that they forget that they're causing problems. You know what I'm saying? To cause the drama, to cause the jealousy, and all those other things, right? So if we're talking about some of the difficulties of being a couple and getting with other couples, it starts with us 1st. So being on the same page.
Just okay. So let's just say I wouldn't say they forget. I don't
Fellas,
think they
tried, baby. I tried on that one.
Forget. But I think it is in their nature. You know, sometimes they're just acting in their nature. Instinctively,
yes.
You know, on the spot, they might be just acting, you know, they not going, if somebody going to push up on them and they looking hot or whatever, they not just going to be like, you know what?
Let me talk to my wife for a minute. Then I look up at you. No, we are not going to do that.
No, you're going to flirt back. You're going to do whatever. But you know what? It really depends on what you've established as a boundary or as a rule within your own partnership. And sometimes the incident will happen before the boundary is even set in place because you didn't even know you needed to make that boundary
until it happened, until you come across it.
So you got to overcome that hurdle of feeling cheated or you know, being deceived, right? You got to get over that hurdle, and then you got to set that boundary moving forward.
Okay.
You know, those are the challenges because we are acting in our own innate being. We're all acting in what we feel comes natural to
for us individually.
To consider our partner takes work.
Yes, it does.
It takes, you know, you got to have some type of I don't know what you call it.
Things that make you go.
Consideration. That's all I can say. Is you just gotta have to have some consideration. Would this be cool? Would I accept it being done if the roles were reversed?
Gotcha.
You know, kind of putting yourself in their shoes.
Okay.
Because I do that a lot. I do that a lot.
Yes, you do. You definitely do.
So that's my advice.
So that's part of your decision process, right? So again, we're talking about the number one thing for couples going after couples per se is to be right within themselves.
I think so. There's a lot of talking involved getting into this, and I think that, you know, I mean, watching a podcast like this definitely helps. But you both have to be watching it to get the same information, to be on the same page.
To be able to talk back and forth about it instead of saying, this is what I heard, this is what I seen. You both can look at it from your eyes and speak from your own mouth of how it touched you or not touched you, right?
Right. Well, because these are very short. You know, both could sit down and watch it together, Netflix and chill, right? We could just be lifeless and lifestyle
20 and chill. That's what we're going to call it, 20 and chill. No Netflix on here. This is 20 and chill, right? Okay.
Or on your leisure, make it an assignment for you. You know, hey, watch episode 1 and we'll talk about it.
But you know, you're saying that out of experience because we've done that, right? We've watched different shows, like
we do
different shows, different podcasts.
We've read books together.
And then we have a little dialogue afterwards. Even if
we'll talk about the chapters afterwards, right? We'll read it together out loud. Like he's in the truck, so I'll read to him.
Yeah, it's my entertainment.
And then we'll talk about it, right? And if there's any exercises involved in what we read, then we kind of do it and come back together and talk about that. So there is work
to do.
And that is a challenge because if you're not willing to put in the work,
it's not going to be successful.
Well, it's going to be a long trip. Yeah. We're trying to help you cut through a lot of the BS.
Definitely.
Up front, you know, these are the things. Even those of you who've been in the lifestyle a long, long time and you're accustomed to a certain, you know, behavior, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's always room for improvement.
Always. There's always, you know, an old dog can learn.
So transparency was the first one.
Right. So being transparent with each
other. So that's one of the top challenges. Okay. For me, number 2 is jealousy. Okay. Jealousy is, again, some people would say it's not a natural emotion. You know, there's always a fear of loss. That's what I always say.
Yeah, we read about fear of loss and how to deal with it, right? But jealousy is a big factor. Again, it starts with us first, right? Us being able to handle what we do. And then the difficulty is finding another couple that have taken care of their situations, the transparency with each other and the jealousy issue, right? Because it's steps, you know, and that's why it's difficult.
Right.
to deal with seeking another
Well, I'm gonna
couple.
tell you, if you're not transparent, you're elevating the level of jealousy
Yes.
in your partner, because there has to be trust in
Mhm.
order for them to even deal with their jealousy. If they can't trust you, then it's hard.
Yeah, and you got to have a lot of trust in this arena. You know what I'm saying? Because things can pop off in a second. You might go into the door with thinking one thought, but then the party is jumping and it's happening. And then you didn't stepped up your game, and next thing you know, you're in a situation where you probably spoke up, me and you, beforehand, that we weren't going to get in, but you're going to find yourself there, right?
Well, one thing I know, couples, they have a hard time trusting people. Well, I know that us, right? We don't know the dynamics of another couple really until you actually have some social time with them.
Social time to talk to them, yes.
Yeah. So finding a level of comfort between us of what's too much conversation or interaction, or what's not enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To establish that.
Because again,
level of trust with that person, or level of trust with that couple.
Right. The confidence in that person, the comfortability of being with that person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it takes time.
One of my challenges is Flea has no problem with saying, hey, pineapples, I'm interested. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he does it enthusiastically, because, sales.
So I'll be selling it.
Sales, let me tell you the definition of sales. Sales is the transfer of enthusiasm in a nutshell. I've been in sales very many years.
Yes, you have, baby. Yes, you
So
have.
his transfer of enthusiasm is he's selling me on this idea of hooking up.
It's gonna be fun though.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Fun. You gotta sell the bells and whistles, right?
Yeah,
fun for him. Me, it's more of a is it something I could live with? How do I really feel? I'm more of a processor. And I think a lot of the women are more processors.
Right, but for you, if you think, you wind up outthinking yourself.
Sometimes.
And then think yourself right out of that opportunity.
Sometimes.
You know what I'm saying? So overthinking is not great. But again, we're still talking about inter-couple, right? Difficulties of being, which is going to go on both sides, right? Because again, going back to the seeking aspect, I mean, we have to be on the same page. So now you bring two other people in. They got to be on the same page, and then we got to get on the same page with them. You know, it has to be a level of comfortability that I was speaking of. It has to be some.
I think sometimes you just got to take the LS out of the equation, because that's where I think that's where it gets a little difficult.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because it's expectations. It's like, how are we going to get from here to here? You know what I'm saying? And if you take the LS out of the equation, which is really the sex, we all said that, right? Just get to know people as people, what they do, just in a networking environment, right? It's more of just breaking the ice, and what do you have in common that you could talk about, right? And then once you get through the pleasantries, then you can go into more of, what are your dynamics? What has your experience been? What do you think about this? You know what I'm saying? Because now you've broken the ice, but we're in a space that we can talk about that part too.
Yeah, we're comfortable. I mean, but look at it through the social media aspect. You know, I go through our social media and we get hit with nudes. We get hit with everything.
I think everybody understands that.
Yeah, they understand that, but that's the difficulty. I don't even want to know you if you're just throwing out nudes right off the bat.
Well, yeah, that's a challenge whether you're a couple or not a couple, right? If you're good looking or charming or whatever whatever it is that they dig about you, they're gonna hit you up.
Oh yeah, they're gonna hit you up. Definitely that.
But the challenges of a couple is really, what are the things that are not gonna rattle the cage? And how do you work around those things that are not gonna rattle the cage? Transparency, we talked about. Jealousy is another. And we did a whole segment on jealousy, so we don't have to go down the rabbit hole again.
But see that episode. I think it's episode 3.
But it's matters of the heart. Do you really think this person is trying to hurt you? Do you really think this person is going to leave you? Are they going to treat you any differently? Like, these are the things that jealousy, these are the emotions that come across us as females when we have those feelings of jealousy. So
for reals.
It's just, we have to just talk about them. He knows ahead of time the things that are going to hit my buttons.
Yeah, I mean, but I had to hit the buttons a couple of times to know that it hit your buttons.
You hear that a couple of times. You got to hit them a couple of times.
Hey, you got to be for sure. You know what I'm saying? That's why we always double take on words.
Sometimes, you know, I would say you really believe that I will overcome it.
Yeah.
A challenge. I'll overcome it eventually. So, you know what? Let me wait a little bit and I'll hit her with it again.
I know some examples of that, but I won't bring them up. Inside shit there.
Yes, ladies. You know what I'm saying? You're not alone. But, you know, we have to work through them. And we always work through them. There might be a little bit of tension, you know, but those are the challenges.
Okay. What about this? Let's, as we wrapping this up. So, again, we kind of hit us being the couple and us. But what do we look for in other couples that's challenging as well? Because I think a lot of people say attraction is the first thing.
Everybody has their preconceived notion of what the perfect play partner will look like, right? Yes. And a lot of times I'm thinking they're looking for, in their mind, what they want. It's a fantasy, but I really, in the same being as they looking for another baby mama or baby daddy, right, in what they want, right? Instead of just an experience.
Correct.
I know Flea, he's had this idea of being in his 20s and 30s, being in his 50s, you know, of that's what the ideal eye candy is, right? But
you talking about age-wise for me?
Age-wise, what we think of, how we thought of in our younger years.
Oh, how a person looks.
It's like now, now it's like we've matured. Everybody's matured. Everybody's went through life, and things aren't always the same aesthetically, right? So sometimes you want, you know, you have to kind of bend your standards a little bit. You know what I mean? If you're going to seek a little pleasure and happiness within the lifestyle, because we come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. I've said it before.
Right.
You know, you may come in looking for that, you know, that kind of superficial, just what's on the exterior. But when you become immersed in the lifestyle, then you get to meet people, the real people, and their other sexiness comes out.
Right, definitely that.
And that's a maturity level that you have to come to.
Yeah, because I definitely came into this with a particular look that I'm looking for.
Look, body type, height.
Yeah, all that. I was real surface when it came what I wanted to experience.
But then you limit your experiences.
I was gonna get there until she cut me off. You see that? That's something we got to work on too. But the reality is that it did have to change. But we changed the environment. What was happening in Vegas that I saw, I wasn't attracted to, right? When we happened to come to Atlanta, we went to a night out, and it was like all this sexy chocolate around here, boy, all shapes and sizes and flavors, right? So yes, maturity tells you it ain't CC when she was 22 when we were together. You know what I'm saying? She's CC of her age right now, and is great, right? But we got to look at those who are around. But like I said, if it's not the surface, then you talked about the sapio aspect.
Yeah, the conversations, you know, how can you connect outside of the attraction? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you connect? You know, just like you would, you know, just any type of connection, even a coworker, you know what I mean? You establish your relationships with those who you have those conversations, the more intimate conversations with, you know what I'm saying? The more intelligent conversations.
Definitely that. That's been definitely a sexy point. You know what I'm saying? It's like how you carry yourself. It's like even how you talk, the confidence you have about the subject.
Open-mindedness too. You know what I'm saying? You got to be kind of open-minded. We're again talking about what we actually look for.
Right, because it's a difficulty to be able to make that connection. Like you're kind of, when it comes to us meeting new people, you're kind of the quiet, shy one. But you're a chatty patty like me. So I'm the instigator of starting the conversation and bringing it into light. And then you're like, oh, hi, da, da, da. And then next thing you know, you hit your points. You know what I'm saying? You're not the first one to go introduce.
On social media, I would agree with that because he's more on social media. But like when we're in person, if we're in an establishment, I think we both kind of bring something to the table on socially, right? But that is true. Like
I say beauty and laughter. That's gonna be our name. You beauty and I'm laughter. So beauty.
I want to get to know everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Same here. I'm
everybody brings something different. Everybody has something different to offer, something different to share.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then, but can you be transparent?
There we go. We go back to that word we started off with.
You know, because that's what we're looking for with another experience with somebody is somebody who can share in the philosophy that we share in.
Can you talk upon the situation with we're swingers, right? So we're not looking to establish relationship. We're looking to establish friendship, right? In vice versa, you have poly, right, where you're looking for to add to your tribe as a relationship. Those are some difficulties as well because attachment. You know what I'm saying? Going back to the word transparency, we talk about transparency, but we say that so that
this is a challenge.
Okay, here we go.
It is a challenge when there is a one-sided connection.
Yes.
In the relationship. He might vibe with somebody that I could care less about. And I might vibe with somebody who he's just like, okay. You know, but, you know, and then it's really of, are they going to allow me to be with because of their kind of indifferent attitude about them?
Yes.
You know?
Because that's the situation that it's a solo situation. You know what I'm saying? It happens more then than anything else. Because married couples, it's not a lot of socialization one-on-ones. It's normally both of us and one of them, or both of us and both of them, or one of us and both of them. You know what I'm saying? It's seldom that it's been one-on-one with established couples. But when we have these solo opportunities to create friendships and other things, play dates possibly with, those are some things that we run into.
Yes, sometimes.
I saw something up in there. She went, aha, I'm about to say something.
Well, you know, again, tribe vibe.
Okay.
Are they worthy of being in my tribe? Because I will be comfortable if they are.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So again, it's about respect. It's about boundaries, protocols. It's about, and not always will you be able to line all those up. And I do understand that. You know what I mean? And we'll pick and choose those opportunities as they come. But
to foster those.
In general, there's certain like things that make me feel comfortable right off the bat.
That a person would have to do to make you feel comfortable.
Right.
Okay. And I have the same. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of trust in the fact that you like associating with men. I mean, a lot of your friendships and conversations are with men, not necessarily sexual. It's just that you're comfortable with being in that environment.
I've always been the homegirl growing up. I've always been the homegirl. You know what I'm saying?
CC the homegirl.
I'd always have
a bunch of bros that just were your bros and be like,
always
had your back and all that.
Always, and it wasn't always sexual or you know hooking up or anything. I was always protected.
Right.
You know, so yeah.
I got you. So we're gonna kind of wrap up right now because again, I think we got some more things that we can talk about. But let our fans hit us up and see what else that we need to expound.
Been off and on topic a little bit, off and on topic.
Oh, we was on, baby. Who you with? Hey. What's the name of this show? Hey. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Come on now. You always on point. You know what I'm saying? I'm just drive, you know.
Got you.
Doing one of them, right?
Well, you be the judge.
Well, again, baby, it's been great. It's more difficulties than anyone can imagine. It's just that you got to go through the process. You got to communicate. You got to
love your partner and have some patience and understanding and give each other space when needed, right?
Yes.
And give each other a safe space to be able to express themselves
without going off or going over the top.
Correct.
Because I can't say I can't get upset, but I don't put it out there towards you because we're in a safe space, right? Look at him. You got my hand all. Oh, yeah, I got you. We're gonna end this right now. We might have to get into something else. You know what I mean? All right. So go on and close us out.
All right. Thank you for joining us today on Life Lesson Lifestyle with Flea and Cece.
And don't forget to subscribe and like and share.
There you
We
go.
gotta have it. Love it, leave it, and share it.
Love it, leave it, and share it.
Ooh, my bad.
Subscribe.
We're gonna leave that subscribe. Bingo.
Mm.
Sip, sip. Yeah. Mm-hmm.